Richard Feynman once said, "A simple question can shake reality." When you look at something real, what do you see? Do you see light, only reflected light, entering your eyes? Or do you see the thing itself, standing before you? Feynman asked this, not as a trick, not as poetry, but as physics, clear and sharp like a blade. He explained something most people ignore, yet always experience. Every object shines only by light that strikes it. That light travels across empty space into your eyes. Your brain then builds a silent picture inside your mind. So technically speaking, you never touch the object visually. You receive signals, tiny packets of light called photons. And from them, you construct reality moment by moment. Now here begins the deeper tension inside philosophy. If we see light, only reflected waves, where is the object? Is the stake real, or just light dancing on matter? Feynman laughed gently at such confusion, not with arrogance, but with clarity born of science and common sense. He said something powerful, so simple yet profound, it silences doubt. Even the greatest philosopher sitting at dinner feels no confusion. He may analyze light, question perception deeply, debate metaphysics endlessly. Yet when hungry, he lifts the fork without hesitation. He does not pause to question photons or optical illusions. He does not whisper, "Perhaps this stake does not exist?" Because reflected light still implies something that reflects it. Light needs a source, it needs matter to bounce from. A reflection means there is substance behind the shine. You cannot reflect from nothingness alone, from empty air. So when you see light from a stake, you infer substance, not blindly believing, but logically concluding through experience. Feynman pointed this out with playful precision and grounded realism. Philosophy sometimes floats high above ground, lost in abstraction. Physics brings it down, back to earth, back to hunger. Because hunger is real, it demands action, not speculation. The philosopher may argue about perception endlessly inside his study, but at dinner, reality answers him without debate. He eats the steak, not the photons, not the theory. This is the balance Feynman wanted us to understand clearly. Yes, we see light, yes, perception constructs mental representations. But those representations point toward something independent of us. Science does not deny the role of perception or neural processing. It simply refuses to dissolve reality into pure illusion. Light carries information about structure and form, about texture and shape. When you see wood or metal shining, you detect patterns. Those patterns correspond to atomic arrangements in physical space. The world resists you, it pushes back, it has structure. If it were illusion, pure mental projection, it would not resist. You could walk through walls, bend matter easily, ignore gravity freely, but you cannot because something solid stands before you. So Feynman smiled at excessive doubt that forgets experience. He respected philosophy, but demanded grounding in observable reality. Seeing light alone does not eliminate the object seen. It reveals interaction between matter and energy, between world and mind. The photons arrive because atoms exist, because surfaces reflect. Your eyes decode what the universe sends without announcement. Every glance confirms that something external meets your perception. This is not naive, not childish realism, but disciplined reasoning. The stake reflects light because molecules vibrate under electromagnetic waves. Those vibrations scatter photons toward your waiting eyes across measurable distance. Remove the stake, the reflection disappears instantly and completely. So what you see depends on light, but also matter. And this distinction is where confusion grows inside abstract debate. Some thinkers claimed, we only know appearances, never true reality. Feynman would respond calmly, appearances still require an underlying cause. Physics traces that cause down to atoms, down to quarks. It does not claim absolute metaphysical certainty beyond all doubt. But it builds models tested by experiment, refined by prediction. And those models work. They launch rockets, they power cities. They explain spectra of reflected light with astonishing precision. So when someone asks, do you see light or the object? The honest answer, according to Feynman, is beautifully layered. You see light carrying information about something real. You do not grasp the object directly with your eyes. Yet you infer it reliably and consistently through physical law. And that inference is not foolish faith, but tested reasoning. The philosopher who forgets this simple grounding risks losing contact, not only with physics but with dinner and with life. Because reality persists, whether analyzed or not, Whether doubted or not, light is the messenger, not the illusion, not the deception. It bridges distance between world and mind, every single moment. Feynman did not dismiss deep questions lightly, he sharpened them. He separated confusion from genuine mystery with careful thought. And this question, about seeing light, reveals that difference. It is profound, yet practically simple. When understood correctly, you see light, yes, that is true, without question. But through that light you encounter matter, structured and real. This dual insight keeps science grounded and philosophy honest. And that is where our exploration continues, beyond this beginning. The confusion begins when language misleads us, quietly and subtly. We say we see a chair or table as if direct. But physics explains the pathway is indirect through light alone. Light leaves the source, strikes the surface, and scatters outward. That scattered light enters the eye through the pupil. The retina responds to electric patterns, triggering neural signals. Those signals travel through complex pathways into the brain, and the brain constructs a stable world from dynamic data. Now some philosophers argue if construction happens, then reality weakens. They claim perhaps we never access things as they are. Perhaps we live inside representations only, mental simulations. Feynman would pause and gently object to that exaggeration. He would clarify, construction does not mean invention from nothing. A thermometer measures heat through expansion of metal, yet heat remains real. A camera records light through silicon sensors, yet scenes remain real. Likewise, the brain processes incoming signals, yet objects remain. Processing information does not erase the source of information. If photons arrive in consistent patterns, something emits them. If reflections change when objects move, something has moved. The regularity matters, the predictability matters, the resistance matters. You can test reality through experiment repeatedly, under varied conditions. Block the light, the object disappears from sight alone. Turn the light back, the object turns in precise location. Measure its mass, weigh its substance. It responds numerically. Strike it with force, it resists motion, according to law. These are not dreams, not loose impressions, but measurable interactions. Feynman loved this, the discipline of testing over endless speculation. He admired doubt, but only when useful, not when paralyzing. Doubt should sharpen, not dissolve everything into fog. There is a difference between healthy skepticism and empty confusion. Healthy skepticism asks, how do we know with evidence? Empty confusion insists we know nothing, without justification. Physics stands between certainty and chaos, carefully balanced. It does not claim ultimate metaphysical truth about every layer, but it asserts strongly that models correspond to structured reality. The success of science is not accidental, nor mysterious. It predicts eclipses, calculates trajectories, designs semiconductors. Those achievements require an external order, not mental fantasy. When you see light from a star billions of miles away, you are receiving history, encoded in photons across vast space. If only perception existed without external cause, astronomy would fail. Yet telescopes confirm spectral lines precisely. Year after year, atoms emit frequencies with strict regularity, governed by quantum rules. Those frequencies travel unchanged across vacuum until detected. Your instruments respond not to imagination but to interaction. Feynman emphasized always interaction is key, never isolation. Seeing is interaction between world and observer through light. Not passive reception, nor solitary projection, but mutual engagement. The world influences you through energy transfer. Across distance, you influence the world by moving and touching, changing configurations. This reciprocity grounds our confidence in objects, beyond mere appearance. Yes, perception filters, yes, brains interpret, yes, language simplifies. But none of this erases external structure outside the skull. Some philosophers feared that admitting mediation destroys realism. Feynman saw instead that mediation explains how realism operates. Light is mediator, carrying coded information from surface to eye. The code is physical, wavelengths and amplitudes, not private feelings. Different observers measure the same wavelengths with calibrated devices. Agreement emerges across independent observers under shared conditions. That agreement signals a stable underlying cause, not personal illusion. If reality were private, measurements would diverge without pattern. Yet they converge within experimental error again and again. This convergence builds the strength of science, quietly and firmly. So when someone claims we see only light, nothing beyond, the reply becomes, yes, light indeed, but not light alone. Light encodes surfaces, textures and boundaries, molecular arrangements. Remove those surfaces, light behaves differently, scattering without pattern. The behavior reveals that something structured interacts with radiation. You do not see atoms, with naked vision, directly and clearly. Yet through instruments, you detect their influence, consistently measurable. Inference in science is disciplined and constrained, not free imagination. It follows evidence, tested repeatedly, across laboratories. Feynman trusted this process because it corrects error. Over time, it allows revision when predictions fail, without despair. Philosophy sometimes hesitates to commit to structure beyond experience. Physics commits cautiously, but commits nonetheless to external law. Because without law, there would be chaos, not coherence. The steak resists the fork, with mechanical strength, predictable and measurable. Its temperature rises when heated externally, according to thermodynamics. Its molecules break when chewed by teeth, under chemical reaction. These processes occur, whether doubted or believed, by the observer. That independence matters deeply and decisively for realism. Light reveals surfaces, but surfaces cause reflection in precise ways. Thus perception links mind to matter through lawful exchange. Feynman's deeper message was not dismissive humor, but disciplined clarity. He invited wonder, without surrendering reason, to abstraction. He encouraged curiosity about how seeing works, without denying objects. The subtlety lies in holding both truths simultaneously. We access the world through mediating processes, never magically direct. Yet those processes depend on structured reality beyond our minds. Understanding this balance prevents naive certainty and radical skepticism. It keeps inquiry alive without dissolving confidence in existence. And this balance becomes even richer when quantum theory enters. Because at smaller scales, light behaves strangely, beyond classical intuition. But even there, interaction persists as fundamental principle, and that is where the discussion deepens further into subtler territory. Now the story deepens when quantum physics enters, quietly but radically. At microscopic scales, light is not only wave but also particle. Photons behave strangely, sometimes like ripples, sometimes like bullets. This dual behavior confused early physicists deeply and intensely. Yet experiments confirmed the strange pattern again and again. Richard Feynman explained that nature itself is not classical. It does not behave like smooth, solid objects at fundamental levels. Instead, it follows probability amplitudes, complex mathematical rules. Particles do not travel in single definite paths, like tiny stones. They explore possibilities, interfere with themselves, and collapse upon interaction. This is where the act of observation seems mysterious. Some thinkers suggested that consciousness creates reality through observation alone. They stretched quantum theory into philosophical extremes, far beyond evidence. Feynman resisted strongly that dramatic exaggeration. With intellectual discipline, he clarified carefully, measurement means interaction, not human awareness. When a photon strikes a detector or atom, an interaction occurs. That interaction changes the system involved irreversibly and measurably. No mystical mind needs to intervene for collapse. Nature interacts with nature through physical exchange of energy. Seeing at quantum scale still involves photons and matter coupling. The difference lies in statistical outcomes, not magical thinking. Even in quantum mechanics, external structure persists, governed by equations. Those equations predict spectra and scattering with astonishing accuracy. The mathematics aligns with laboratory results across decades, so the deeper lesson remains remarkably stable despite complexity. We see light as undeniably true, without exception. But that light reflects real interactions occurring in physical systems. Quantum theory refines our understanding of matter, it does not erase it. It replaces certainty with probability distributions, not with illusion. The world becomes subtler, more dynamic and strange, yet still structured. Feynman often admitted that nobody fully understands quantum mechanics intuitively. He famously remarked, "If you think you understand, you probably do not." Yet misunderstanding intuition does not negate equations, nor experimental agreement. The humility is crucial. Science accepts mystery without abandoning rigor. So when someone claims, "Perhaps we see nothing real, only quantum shadows," the disciplined response remains, interaction implies entities, however described. Even a probability wave describes behavior of something, not empty fiction. Remove the electron entirely, no interference pattern appears on the screen. Remove the apparatus, no measurement registers any event. Structure conditions outcome, in precise relationships, mathematically framed. Thus reality evolves from classical solidity to quantum subtlety, but never dissolves into pure imagination or private fantasy. Feynman loved puzzles but disliked mystical shortcuts, masquerading as he preferred honesty about confusion and limits over dramatic claims. He would say simply, nature behaves this way, whether we like it. Our task is to describe patterns faithfully through experiment, not to inflate them into metaphysical absolutes without necessity. Returning to vision, the original question remains elegant and sharp. Do you see light or the object before you? At every scale, the answer unfolds, layer by layer. You see photons arriving, carrying structured information about interactions. Those interactions encode positions and motions in lawful frameworks. Your brain reconstructs a stable external world from dynamic signals. That reconstruction works because the world constrains possible signals. If objects were arbitrary, signals would fluctuate wildly without stable pattern. Yet they remain consistent across observers and instruments under shared conditions. Consistency signals structure, structure signals independence from individual minds. This independence anchors science and daily life simultaneously. The philosopher eats dinner without existential paralysis for good reason. The fork meets resistance, the steak yields texture, flavor confirms substance. Light-guided perception, but matter-sustained nourishment in physical exchange. Theory must respect this lived grounding in embodied reality. Feynman's insight balances intellectual humility and strength in rare harmony. He invites us to question assumptions without losing contact. He reminds us that abstraction requires anchor in experiment. He shows that wonder does not require mystification to remain profound. Seeing is mediation, yes, beautifully intricate and scientifically rich, yet mediation presupposes a world to mediate beyond the mind. Light is messenger, not creator of objects nor destroyer. Photons carry news from atoms and surfaces to conscious awareness. They testify silently to structured interactions in external space. Denying the structure while trusting the testimony creates contradiction. Accepting both layers, light and matter together, restores coherence, so the refined conclusion stands simple yet deeply earned through physics. We see light, undeniably and precisely, through biological machinery. Through that light we access structured reality, indirect yet reliable. Reality is not grasped with metaphysical certainty beyond all doubt, but it is engaged through lawful interaction, again and again. And that engagement sustains science and survival with equal force. That is what Feynman meant, not dismissing philosophy, but grounding it, not mocking deep questions, but clearing confusion from their path. When you look outward, you meet the universe through light. And through that meeting, you discover structure, not emptiness. The question remains powerful, because it refines thinking without destroying meaning. You see light, yes, always light arriving faithfully. But light is evidence of something standing there, resisting and reflecting. And that quiet resistance is what we call the real world